Wednesday, and that means we're sitting down for another episode of Passion for Purpose. Today, I'm excited to welcome Grace Hu. Grace is part of our SAP Concur sales team in Greater China. Grace, who is a resident of Wuhan, played an incredible role in supporting her community through volunteerism in one of the earliest centers of the pandemic. Grace, thank you so much for joining us today. And let's start by having you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your position here at SAP.
Thank you, Alicia. It's my pleasure joining you today. I'm a Wuhan native and the first local employee at SAP Concur's Wuhan office, and I take care of sales of Southern China.
Being from Wuhan, your experience with the coronavirus is truly unique. Tell me a little bit about what it's been like living in Wuhan through this time period.
We are living in the epicenter of the pandemic. Ambulance was welcoming and going right from my residential compounds. The siren never stopped. Some patients who went for emergency never returned home. It was a very scary time. It was during the Chinese Spring Festival, but every day was so bright and everything was challenging. We felt so helpless. However, we can see that people from all over the country coming to support us every day. And the people all over the country are encouraging the people of Wuhan through videos at the blogs and the WeChat. We believe that we can definitely the tide over the difficult and Wuhan will definitely come back to life.
So, Grace, I understand that early on, you sprang into action to help your community when everyone was quarantined and barely even leaving their homes to go to the grocery store. Can you share a bit more about the project you started and what inspired you to start the project?
Okay, since the lockdown and the cars were banned in Wuhan city center and all residential compounds were locked over 24 hours a day. It was very difficult to purchase daily necessary and food. My residential compounds also started to organize community group purchase. I saw a chance to help and took several roles. During the spring festivals, most people will store a lot of meat in their home, but not green vegetables. People prefer to buy fresh vegetables when needed so. I learned that vegetables were in shortage and become more and more expensive, and sometimes in poor quality, with no delivery. An increased number of residents want to try other ways to accept safe and affordable vegetables. So I launched a volunteer service called Quality Vegetables for Yuhualing to build a channel directly, supplying and distributing vegetables to community to the compound, and quickly organization residents within the communication to volunteer to deliver vegetables. We have nearly 30 volunteers join with 2 days.
Grace, what were some of the biggest lessons you learned while working within your community and helping others through this difficult time?
I have learned to help others without asking for returns and bring in the best of humanity in the darkest hours. In the face of the epidemic, in the face of an epidemic, as an ordinary citizen, people will be frightened, but you can continue to stay at home or you can help. Because of the volunteer service, I came in contact with many communities residents every day. Even though everyone was covered in masks, they could all feel their love for life and hope through each other's eyes. I knew I couldn't stop for or retreat.
Grace, I imagine you came face to face with a lot of
Mm.
people you were able to help directly. Can you share any stories that inspired you?
Every day I receive numerous friends requests on WeChat or on the blogs, many of which were just to say thank you. This greeting and acts of kindness encourage me and brought my confidence to push forward. Whatever the difficult was, Wuhan knew we would eventually win. There were many people just like me, offering help, willing to fight against the pandemic, save the city and themselves. I saw many others fighting for Wuhan, including medical staff, street cleaning volunteers, or the vegetables vendors, and countless others. In the critics, everyone was doing what they could to help small ladies could be encouraged and heartwarming. No one expected returns, as they were all trying to protect their home. Although they didn't know each other, everyone wanted to lend a hand.
Grace, what advice would you give to members of our SAP community who may want to do their part and also give back during the global pandemic?
Mm. I was inspired by these two words every day. Live your live your life fully, live it now, like there is no tomorrow. Be ready for the interesting, mentally ready. Do something good now to leave something behind you tomorrow. So learn it and do it.
Grace, thank you so much for everything you're doing in your community, for being an SAP ambassador, and for sharing your story and your inspiration with us today. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Alicia.